Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest edition of the Newshour. I'm Madhavas Gopalakrishnan. Now, Mughal ruler Aurangzeb was no poster boy of secularism or a propounder of Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb. He was at best a staunch Islamic hardliner with little respect or patience for other faiths, and at worst, he's also been called an Islamist tyrant bent on crushing the Sanatan civilization and traditions. Many right-wing historians have accused the left of distorting history and whitewashing the sins of Mughals in their bid to erect false heroes. It's not surprising in that light if divisive figures such as Aurangzeb are hailed by some as heroes in secular India. A needless provocation to Hindus who by most accounts of history suffered at his hands. But what baffles is the continued political patronage to such forces and their ideology. We're going to be debating tonight, viewers, if Aurangzeb backers are hurting Hindustan. Even as Owaisi's Neta was seen idolizing the Mughal ruler holding his poster in hand at a procession in Ahmednagar and dancing, Kolhapur has been on the boil after clashes broke out due to a social media post with pictures glorifying Aurangzeb. The BJP is warned that attempts to glorify the Islamist tyrant won't be tolerated.
लोग शांति से रहे, राज्य में शांति रहे, अमन रहे, इसके लिए सभी लोगों ने सहयोग करने की आवश्यकता है आणि कायदा हातात घेणाऱ्याला पाठीशी घातलं जाणार नाही, त्याच्यावर कारवाई केली जाईल हे आम्ही ठिकाणी सांगतो.
जो औरंगजेब का फोटो दिखाते हैं, औरंगजेब का स्टेटस रखते हैं और इसके कारण एक दुर्भावना समाज में पैदा हो रही है. सवाल ये उठता है कि अचानक इतने औरंगजेब के औलादे कहाँ से पैदा हुई, इसके पीछे कौन है, ये भी हम ढूंढ के निकालेंगे. लेकिन मेरे सबसे निवेदन है, कोई भी कानून को हाथ में न ले.
32 महीने की जो सरकार थी उसमें इस प्रकार की प्रवृत्ति को काफी समर्थन दिया गया. अब उसके ऊपर कंट्रोल लाया गया है. जो हिंदुस्तान के द्रोही थे उनको हीरो बनाने का प्रयास करेंगे तो सरकार उसको चलान देगी, नहीं कारवाई होगी.
तर ह्या लोकांना जास्तच अगर औरंगजेब आणि टिपूचं अगर प्रेम उफळून येत असेल आणि जास्तच त्यांची आठवण येत असेल आणि ही अगर मस्ती आमच्या महाराष्ट्रामध्ये बंद केली नाही तर औरंगजेबाकडे पाठवण्याची सगळी सोय आमच्याकडे आहे.
However, the lobby sees nothing wrong in it. The opposition has instead asked what's wrong if Aurangzeb's posters are waved at a procession.
नहीं, समझो किसी का पोस्टर कुछ दिखाया या बताया, इसलिए दो हजार में हमला करना, एजिटेशन करना, इसकी कोई आवश्यकता है? ये क्या इशू है?
औरंगजेब एक अलग मसला है और टीपू सुल्तान एक अलग मसला है. टीपू सुल्तान ने अंग्रेजों के खिलाफ इस देश में लड़ाई लड़ी है, ये इतिहास में दर्ज है, कोई झूठ नहीं है. भाजपा जिस तरह से स्वतंत्रता संग्राम से जुड़े हुए लोगों का अपमान करती है वो गलत है.
मेरे ख्याल से होम मिनिस्ट्री का एक इंटेलिजेंस सोर्स होता है, तो ऑब्वियसली इसमें कुछ गड़बड़ हो रही है ना. इनका इंटेलिजेंस क्या किया जा रहा है, कितनी चीजें, मैं आपको 10 चीजें बता सकती हूँ विच द इंटेलिजेंस हैड वार्न्ड गवर्नमेंट ऑफ महाराष्ट्र एंड द होम मिनिस्ट्री हैज डन नथिंग. सो इट्स अ फेलियर ऑफ द मिनिस्ट्री.
और भाजपा जो है वो दंगे फैलाना चाहता है. इस तरह से किसी व्हाट्सएप पे और इससे दंगे नहीं होते. कोई औरंगजेब का फोटो लिया और इस तरह से दंगे नहीं हो सकते. ये जो बहुत गलत चल रहा है कि महाराष्ट्र के चुनाव जैसे नज़दीक आ रहे हैं, लोकसभा के चुनाव जैसे नज़दीक आ रहे हैं, तो ये चाहते हैं कि फिर से हम लोग हिंदू मुस्लिम दंगे करें और सत्ता में आए, लेकिन इसका उनको बहुत ज़बरदस्त कीमत भाजपा को चुकानी पड़ेगी.
That brings me to the legitimate question that we're asking tonight. Why idolize a hate figure?
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
And for more on this, we go right across to our guest. Joining us with us is Rajiv Pandey, spokesperson of BJP in Maharashtra. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, author, is with us on the panel. Sriraj Nair is national spokesperson of the VHP. Abdul Raza Khan is a political analyst joining us. We also have with us Advocate Faizan Mirza, an NCP supporter. Let me start with you first, Advocate Faizan Mirza, because, you know, a statement of Mr. Sharad Pawar has also caused some amount of controversy. Before I get into the actual goings-on in these two areas of Maharashtra, whether we're talking about Kolhapur or Ahmednagar, एडवोकेट फैजन मिर्जा, सवाल यह है कि जब शरद पवार कहते हैं कि किसी का पोस्टर दिखा, इस पे ऑब्जेक्ट क्यों करते हैं, आंदोलन क्यों करते हैं, तो अगर किसी ने कुछ ऑब्जेक्शनल कहा है और प्रोटेस्ट निकल रही है, सर्टनली नोबडी कैन जस्टिफाई वायलेंस। हिंसा की कोई भी यहाँ पे ऐसा कोई भी नहीं होगा इस पैनल में जो कहेगा कि जो वायलेंस किया गया सही किया गया। सर्टनली द रूल ऑफ लॉ हैज टू बी देयर। बट क्या अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्शनेबल स्टेटमेंट आती है, और आपने एफआईआर भी पढ़ा होगा, मैं आई बिलीव, क्योंकि ये एफआईआर ऑलरेडी पब्लिक डोमेन में है, तो क्या लोगों को प्रोटेस्ट नहीं करना चाहिए? ये कहना है शरद पवार जी का।
नहीं, ये उनके स्टेटमेंट का विपर्यास किया जा रहा है। लोकतंत्र में सभी को प्रोटेस्ट करने का भी अधिकार है और अपनी बात रखने का भी अधिकार है, पसंद नापसंद रखने का भी अधिकार है। अब एक मुद्दा ये भी है कि फिलहाल ये फोटो झलकना और इस पर तमाशे होना, उससे भी बड़े बड़े मुद्दे देश के अंदर है, उससे भी बड़े बड़े मुद्दों पर हमें ध्यान देना है। और ये तभी क्यों होता है जब भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सेंट्रल लेवल पर कुछ ना कुछ जो ड्रॉबैक है हमारे सामने आता है, उसी वक्त देश के अंदर ऐसी घटनाएं क्यों होती, इसकी भी एक बार ये भी एक सोचने का विषय है कि जब अभी देखिए अभी कितना बड़ा इंसिडेंट हमारे देश में हो गया जिससे अभी तक हम लोग उभर नहीं पाए। वो ट्रेन वाला इंसिडेंट बहुत ही दर्दनाक इंसिडेंट हमारे देश में हुआ है। अब वो इंसिडेंट के बाद में अचानक इतना बड़ा जो फेलियर हमको दिखा, मिसमैनेजमेंट और इतना बड़ा फेलियर हमको दिखा, उसके बाद में फिर अब यहाँ पर इस तरह की जो कंट्रोवर्सी अभी सामने आई है, तो ये ऐसे टाइम पर ही होना।
Okay, आप कह रहे हैं, आप you're saying that this is some kind of narrative correction exercise, but let me first, before I go across to BJP, मैं आपके अलायंस पार्टनर से पूछूं, जो यहाँ पे यूबीटी फैक्शन सेना के जो यहाँ पे लीडर है हमारे साथ, साजिद सुपारीवाला जी। साजिद सुपारीवाला जी, यहाँ पे जो एडवोकेट फैजन मिर्जा है, उनका कहना है कि ये प्रोटेस्ट करने का तो अधिकार है, लेकिन ये एक तरह से दिस हैज बीन ब्रॉट इन टू डाइवर्ट अटेंशन। जब आपके ही फैक्शन के लीडर संजय राउत का मानना है कि जिसने भी इस तरह की पोस्टर निकाली है उनका कोई जगह नहीं है इस देश में, क्या कहेंगे आप एडवोकेट फैजान को, साजिद सुपारीवाला?
एक बात तो मैं ये बोलूंगा सबसे पहले कि दिस गवर्नमेंट हैज फेल्ड। सबसे पहले तो ये बात है, माय पार्टी स्टैंड्स बाय दिस, दैट द गवर्नमेंट हैज फेल्ड टू कंटेन पीस एंड हार्मनी एंड कंटेन दे आर फेल्ड टू कंटेन द रायट्स एंड मेंटेन पीस एंड हार्मनी। सबसे पहली बात है कि कानून की बिल्कुल उल्लंघन हुआ है। प्रोटेस्ट करना अलग चीज होती है, लेकिन इस तरह से प्रोटेस्ट करना और इस तरह से स्टोन पेल्टिंग करना माहौल खराब करने वाली बात है। आई थिंक दिस इज नॉट एट ऑल डेमोक्रेटिक एंड द मिसक्रींट्स शुड बी टेकन टू टास्क। सबसे पहले तो ये बात है, रीजन कोई भी हो, नोबडी हैज द राइट टू बी वायलेंट, which is really very sorry state of this affair, and especially our Maharashtra state is going.
Nobody is here going to justify violence. I started my question to Advocate Faizan just a few moments ago. If you heard me, nobody is justifying violence. My question to you, one second, sir, and please listen to my question a little carefully. I'm just going to read out to you what Mr. Sanjay Raut has said on this entire episode. And please tell me where your party stands on this, because this is what Sanjay Raut has said. He says, today I'm speaking from Sambhajinagar, earlier known as Aurangabad. This is the place where we have buried Aurangzeb. If there are any bhaks, devotees of Aurangzeb, and if they are showing photos of Aurangzeb and dancing, then they have no right to stay in this country. They should immediately go to Pakistan. This was the stand of Hindu Hriday Samrat Bala Saheb Thackeray and Shiv Sena. We are firm on it. Immediate and stern action should be taken against those who have kept a status on social media. They should be booked under charges like sedition. I challenge the BJP to show the courage and act immediately. So either you agree with what Mr. Sanjay Raut says, or you disagree with him.
What has my party leader said? Do it according to the law. But taking the law in your hands is totally...
Sir, prima facie, are you against that poster or not? That is the first thing I'm trying to establish.
Whoever has done anything wrong should be taken as per the law.
Mr. Supariwala, absolutely. So you are against that poster? Is your party's position against that poster or not?
That is any making hero or making a villain out of anybody is a personal prerogative of people, but something who are going against the state and against the law of the land.
So Mr. Sanjay Raut is wrong according to you?
No, I'm not. You are not understanding my...
Sir, I just read out what Mr. Sanjay Raut believes. Do you agree with him? Yes or no? Simple question.
I am with Sanjay Raut ji, but on what terms? Please understand what he is trying to say.
He is saying unequivocally this poster is wrong. Do you agree with him or not? Because you're trying to justify it, saying it's a personal decision. He is saying the poster is wrong. You're taking a different position from your own party that you're representing.
I'm coming back to the same question. You have misread me or misheard me. What I'm trying to tell you here is, if a person is, you don't like a person or you like a person, public demonstration of the same should not be allowed. The only thing which should not be allowed is only violence should not be allowed.
Sir, I agree with you. Violence should not be allowed. Do you condemn the poster? Yes or no? Simple question.
We condemn the... See, I have not posted, I have not seen what has happened and who has taken the poster.
Sir,
down.
so many days...
For the news.
You are so outraged about this issue and you have not even seen the poster. Come on, sir.
This is a very debatable thing. Right now we are talking about taking the law in its hands.
You know, I find it strange, sir. You are so passionate about this issue, and certainly everyone has to be and has every right to be passionate about an issue where people are protesting, stones are being pelted. Certainly nobody has the right to take law in their own hands. I am asking you, what is your position? Do you agree with your own party's leader Sanjay Raut or not? And you are dithering for the third time.
Right now, I'm asking you a question. Will you be able to answer that? Is this going on the road and throwing stones at other people?
Sir, what do you mean, will you be able to answer that? Thrice I have said that violence is wrong. I am asking you, is that poster correct or not? And you are neither saying yes, you are not saying no.
Right now, what is your topic on your TV right now? The topic is about the violence which had been done.
What is the cause of the violence? What is the cause of the protest?
The cause of the protest.
The cause of the protest is this poster, yes or no?
So definitely, why is law not taking its course?
If law should take its course, who is in disagreement with you?
This has been created in the minds to spread communal disharmony.
Very interesting.
Because the elections are coming up.
Okay. So you're playing it safe, Sajid Supariwala. You're playing it safe. You're not even agreeing with your own party's leader who has taken a very strong position against these posters. It's all right. It's all right. You can soft pedal. You have every right to You have every democratic right to differ with your party, sir. I have nobody to take away that right from you. So let me bring in the BJP spokesperson, Rajiv Pandey. Mr. Rajiv Pandey. No, Mr. Supariwala, I have given you plenty of opportunity to speak. You are going on to the same point of violence where we are in agreement. But when I'm asking about the poster, you are not saying anything. You are neither saying yes, you are neither saying no.
I'm saying anybody's poster, but why the violence has been taken into consideration?
Is the poster right or wrong? Is the poster right or wrong?
I stand with my party.
Does it have a cause for protest?
I'm standing with my party on that, but I'm
okay. After much goading, you have decided to support your party's line on that. Let me bring in now the Maharashtra BJP spokesperson, Rajiv Pandey. Rajiv Pandey, over here we have two allies over here, a representative of the UBT faction and somebody who supports the NCP, Advocate Faizan Mirza. Do you see an inherent contradiction over there in the positions that have been taken by the two today? And what would you say? Because at the end of the day, you know, there are those who are questioning whether the BJP is also, you know, or the protesters have also fomented this violence with a reason. Because there are some who are alleging that this is some kind of narrative building to divert from tragedies that we've seen in the country. Your response to them, please.
Madhavji, in Maharashtra, nobody can accept this. You can hear the statement of even Ajit Dada Pawar, what he has stated on this issue. For people of this country, Aurangzeb was a terrorist and nobody is going to accept if somebody is putting this kind of WhatsApp. Our Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, who is the Home Minister, also said that a strict action will be taken. A strict action will be taken. And all the people, don't disturb Mr. Rajak. I am talking, just let me complete my point. No, I am saying, this is my point.
He is a terrorist.
No, 1 second. Abdul Razak Khan, let others speak. Let others, 1 second. No, I'm not going to allow this. All panelists, 1 second, Abdul Razak Khan, don't try to eat other panelists' time. There are many others waiting for their turn. 1 second, just wait. You can respond to him, sir. You can respond to him in a civil manner. Let him complete his point. I
am saying Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj sacrificed their life. And this Aurangzeb, who was a bigot, and if somebody is putting that, you know, can you go into Germany today and put Hitler on your WhatsApp status? Can you put Hitler in Germany or in any other country or Israel? Aurangzeb was a terrorist, again I am repeating, and he annihilated more than several lakhs people, Hindus mostly in this country. Now what I'm trying to say, just listen to me. Why this man is, from where you have brought this, he doesn't know, he's not even accepting the understanding the Sanjay Raut statement.
Mr. Supariwala,
can I just complete my point?
Mr. Supariwala, you have spoken, sir. Now please allow others at least to present an alternate point of view.
I have not
Rajiv Pandey,
disturbed
quickly,
anybody.
30 seconds, complete your point. Yes, please.
No, just I'm saying. What I'm saying, the action law will take its own course. All the people who have put this kind of WhatsApp status, they are all, I think some of them are already arrested. I am saying, if you are supporting Aurangzeb, that means you are abusing Guru Tegh Bahadur and Chhatrapati Sambhaji Maharaj and Shivaji Maharaj.
Okay,
That's
okay.
why Sanjay Raut as well as Ajit Dada Pawar. Listen to me, madam, last point.
Okay.
That's why even Sanjay Raut and Ajit Dada Pawar has said, anybody who is putting a status of Aurangzeb on their WhatsApp, he should be sent out of this country.
Okay.
And all the panelists, even UBT Libat Sadi Superwala, he is indirectly supporting Aurangzeb.
Okay.
In this country, he was a mass murderer. Aurangzeb was a mass murderer, terrorist, Islamic bygone.
Yes, you made your point, Rajiv Pandey. Now I want to bring in Abdul Razak Khan. One second, Mr. Supariwala, please. You've had your turn. Let others speak now. Mr. Abdul Razak Khan, simple question to you is this. A person, Mr.
We are talking about crashes that have happened. We are not supporting anybody.
Okay, you made your point. So, Mr. Supariwala, you've got your point. You have spoken extensively. Now, please let others speak. Please. I'm going to request both of you, Rajiv Pandey and Supariwala, please, 1 second, maintain your composure. I can understand it's a very heated debate, but please allow others a chance to speak also. Abdul Razak Khan, you may not agree with the word that Rajiv Pandey has used of terrorist, but there's no doubt about the fact that here is a person who is responsible for destruction of temples. Here is a person who many historians have said has played a very... 1 second, Rajiv Pandey, I'm going to request you also. That's your perception, sir. Let others have their perception also. They also have a right to freedom of speech. Let them have their perception. I'm asking a question. Please allow me to at least ask questions. Please don't curb my freedom of speech on the panel. Abdul Razak Khan, simple question. Whatever is the perception, here is a person who is considered to be a hate figure. And therefore, it is extremely problematic when you have people come up with posters that glorify this individual. Would you agree with that or not?
Sir, in olden days, the rule that the king followed to establish his kingdom was his sword and nothing else. He just wants to establish his kingdom. He may have used the sword. If you speak about Aurangzeb, please talk about King Ashoka as well. Even Ashoka killed millions of people. So we still use the Ashoka Chakra in our emblem. So stop spreading this hatred about Aurangzeb. If Aurangzeb is a hateful figure to you, why at all on earth do you hoist the national flag on Independence Day from Red Fort? Any foreign dignitary walking to India, you first take him to Taj Mahal, his father's contribution. One side you rename the Mughal Sarai as Deen Dayal Upadhyay. On the other side, you keep benefiting out of the contributions of the Mughal Empire. Even today, the highest amount that we get from tourism is from Taj Mahal. His father constructed Taj Mahal. Can you deny the fact? Today, just because it doesn't suit your ideology, you go ahead and talk about Aurangzeb. He is a hate figure. He is a mass murderer. So remove the Ashoka Chakra from the emblem. Why should we have somebody who has mass murdered a king like Ashoka? Come on, all those things happened in the past. Today we are not here to rectify all the wrongs in the past. This has been said by the Supreme Court as well.
Yes.
My contention is, just because somebody does not suit your ideology, do not villainize. Don't villainize.
Yes.
Those are great Mughal icons, Mughal heroes who have contributed to this land. Even today we are reaping benefits out of
There's a problem with that. Abdul Razak Khan, there's a problem with that. While Ashoka later in life at least reflected upon his mistakes and reformed a bit, Aurangzeb is a person who destroyed places of worship and not one or two. But there are many of them, sir. And his tyranny was perhaps unparalleled amongst other rulers. Is there a comparison to be made over here? Sriraj Nair, is there any comparison to be made between Ashoka and Aurangzeb? Once again, you've asked a question. You've asked a question, sir. Now get it. Listen to the response. Be brave enough to listen to the response of the other side. Sriraj Nair.
Ashoka was a leader, was a king of our own country. Ashoka was not a foreigner. Please understand. And coming to Aurangzeb, right from Muhammad bin Qasim to Aurangzeb, everybody was a terrorist. And Aurangzeb was one of the most dreaded terrorists. and they are trying to portray him as a glorious hero. That is the biggest problem. And the fault lies in the Muslim leadership. Every time Owaisi, whenever he goes for a political debate, he cries and howls that the Muslims are the most poorest people.
You are hoisting the
in this
national
country.
flag.
They lack education.
You are hoisting the national flag
from the Muslim community.
Building
why
that was built
why
by
they
a
are
terrorist.
trying to portray
Will you accept
Aurangzeb?
this?
They should
Will
try
you
to
accept
address their
this?
own priorities.
We are hoisting the national flag from Red
leaders
Fort.
like Owaisi and
Was the
Empire,
Red Fort built
they
by
are
a terrorist?
creating anti-national.
What shameless
There
argument.
can never be a comparison
Do you
with
have a
Ashoka
reply?
and
Do
a
you have a
terrorist like
reply?
Aurangzeb.
Let me come in here.
If
Let me
you
just come
call
here.
a Mughal
Let me
ruler
come in here. Let me come here. Gentlemen, please.
Every
Why,
Muslim
you know
ruler,
the problem, Mr. Abdul Raza Khan, Mr. Abdul Raza Khan, the problem is this. If you're going to interrupt everybody,
Aurangzeb was the most
one at a time. One second. Mr. Shiraj, let me just come in. There are three panelists who have at least not spoken. 1 second. I see many hands going up. Everyone wants to speak all the time, sir. It's not possible to have a debate. Mr. Abdul Raza Khan, you can respond to him. There are two other panelists waiting to speak. Let Mr. Shiraj Nair finish. I will give you a chance and others also a chance. There are several others waiting for their turn. Please be a little patient. Shiraj Nair, 30 seconds. Please complete your point.
See, there can never be a comparison between Ashoka and Aurangzeb. Right from Muhammad bin Qasim to Aurangzeb, everybody was a terrorist. Aurangzeb was one of the most dreaded terrorists. He killed and brutalized human lives like anything. He destroyed temples, so he cannot be a hero. All those who are trying to worship him as a hero, their ancestors were the biggest sufferers from the hands of Aurangzeb. Now Abdul Razak, who were his ancestors? They were not Arab migrants. So they themselves were the victims of Aurangzeb. And now it is all Stockholm syndrome. They are trying to justify the horror and the brutalities done by Aurangzeb. Aurangzeb cannot be a hero. And all those people who are carrying placards, they should be arrested.
Okay. Let me bring in Dr. Sanjay Jha. Dr. Sanjay Jha, you know, if you listen to Abdul Raza Khan, you would believe that all Mughals can be painted with the same brush. But that's certainly not the case. Certainly nobody can compare Aurangzeb with his father who built the Taj Mahal. Here is a person who killed his own family members. Now, one may argue that one lived by the sword, that in those times there was no constitution, there was no rule of law, etc. But if somebody is considered to be or widely believed to be or perceived to be even as a hate figure, certainly one cannot have double standards on hate, can we?
Madhav, I want to make a few bullet points because I think there are other people who are also going to speak after me. But let me put the debate in context. Number one, Aurangzeb died in 1707. There is a reason why so many centuries later the BJP wants to keep him alive. And the reason behind that is very straightforward. Communal polarization and religious hate. I want to make a second point. No matter how hard the BJP tries, Maharashtra will never become a Manipur. And we have all seen what is going on in Manipur. You will never succeed. The people of Maharashtra are secular and they're liberal people. They will not be exploited. Point number three, Madhav, think about it. Why is it that when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister, I think Narendra Modi is not a patch on him no matter what he does with propaganda and PR. Why is that when Vajpayee was the Prime Minister, no names were changed? Because after all, he was also from the BJP, right? The RSS was still the dominant force. There is something very ugly and polarizing going on in India. Point number four, they talk of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. I'm a student of political history. Do these people even know that Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj was one of the most secular leaders in our history? He had Muslims who were part of his commanding army. And therefore, I want to tell people here, please do not distort history. My last point. There is this gentleman from the BJP who was talking about the Germans and what we should learn from the Germans.
Actually, Sanjay Jha is trying to justify. Sanjay Jha is trying to justify this by calling them. Do you think BJP will
Let him make his points, sir. Please, Rajiv, I'm requesting you also, just as requested Abdul Razak. Please.
I was giving me time. First, you did not allow me to comment.
No. Rajiv Pandey, you are one of the first who have spoken. There are panelists who have not even spoken so far. Rajiv Pandey.
Why to discuss Aurangzeb? No.
Rajiv Pandey, please allow other panelists also their time. I will come to you, sir. Please, if everybody interrupts everyone, we cannot have a debate. Please, let him make his point. You can respond to him later. Sanjay Jha.
Yeah, and this gentleman who's trying to interrupt me with his vulgar interruptions, let me tell him, he quoted Germany. Well, Madhav, let me tell you, I've been to Germany several times. And we should learn from that country, my dear friend. In Germany today, they still have concentration camps. They want the people to know what Adolf Hitler did was wrong and that it is not repeated again.
I think that's the point he was making as well. I think that's the point he was making as well. Let me bring in Dr. Anand Raghunathan now. Dr. Anand Raghunathan.
It is Aurangzeb.
Okay, Dr. Anand Raghunathan, I thank you for your patience. But there are many points being made over here. There are those who are comparing Aurangzeb with Ashoka. They are saying that, it was rule of sword at that point of time. There was no rule of law. And therefore, why are you objecting to his acts at that point of time? Does Aurangzeb compare with other tyrants or kings or whatever one chooses to call it, autocrats, monarchs of the time?
Good evening, Madhav. It's been 25 minutes and I haven't uttered a squeak. I've been waiting and listening very patiently to my fellow panelists, and I expect the same courtesy that I've given them to not interrupt me. I would like to make three broad points. Number one, as far as Sanjay Jha is concerned, I would like to ask him, is there a Hitler Road in Tel Aviv? If there isn't, then what is the justification for having an Aurangzeb Road in Delhi?
He was from... Madam,
I refuse to speak. I am not speaking.
Sanjay Jha,
I'm not speaking.
What a preposterous assumption is that?
I'm not.
One second, Sanjay Jha, please respond to him. You can respond to him, sir. This is a problem. If everyone starts taking personal affront to comments that are made, then we cannot have a debate. Please listen to the other side. Gentlemen, I understand it's an emotive issue, but please bear with me. We have to have a debate. Sanjay Jha, you were also allowed to complete your point. Allow others the same courtesy, please. Dr. Raghunathan.
Am I going to be interrupted now, Madhav?
No, please carry on. Floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you. The responsibility for making sure I'm not interrupted after waiting for half an hour is yours. Very kind of you. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Number two, people must realize when somebody on your panel is making a comparison between King Ashoka and Aurangzeb of all people, they must realize that Ashoka was already a Buddhist when he waged the Kalinga War. He was a Buddhist for 4 to 8 years, which killed tens of thousands of people, and then he repented. So in our civilization, at least, the Indian civilization, great pride is given to people and they are forgiven if they repent. So when Ashoka the Buddhist repented for what he had done, we have forgiven him. And that is the reason why Ashoka Chakra is there as a symbol of Republic of India. Now, the third point is very important because you can airbrush history, Madhav, but you can't airbrush a civilization. Aurangzeb tried to, but our ancestors foiled his plan. It is beyond any doubt. In fact, written in most authentic biography of Aurangzeb, Masir-e-Alamgiri, that in 1669, on orders of Aurangzeb, the Kashi Vishwanath temple was demolished. And then, 1 year later, he ordered the demolition of the temple at Mathura and had the idols brought to Agra to be scattered under the steps of Begum Sahib Mosque so that they would be trodden on. Madhav, if the holiest shrine of some other religion was demolished and people of other faiths stomped their dirty feet on the sacred relics as they walked inside the place of worship, this country would have witnessed a civil war. It is beyond any doubt that Aurangzeb ordered that Zorawar and Fateh Sahibs be buried alive for refusing to convert to Islam. And somebody says he is not a terrorist. Madhav, nations weaken not because of their past, but rather by how they are taught it. And for 70 years, we have been taught to forget historical injustices. From Somnath to Kashi Vishwanath, from Babarpur to Bakhtiyarpur, from Allahabad to Aurangabad, these injustices have deliberately been made visible, Madhav, as though to lionize the debasement, celebrate the humiliation. We eulogize barbarians like Tipu, Aurangzeb, Babar, Khilji. In what can only be described?
These are recorded history.
Madhav, I am ready to add to this debate.
Mr. Raza Khan, very calmly, let me ask you, Mr. Raza Khan. Mr. Abdul Razak Khan, please control yourself, sir. Just as I've asked other panelists, please, little bit of self-control.
Why is it that on your debate we have these interruptions?
No, the interruptions don't happen because of me, sir. They are because of the panelists themselves. I am allowing. I have asked him to
mute these people.
Well, one second. Anand Raghunathan, I can understand you've been very patient.
Why should I have to pay for being silent?
Not at all, sir. We have seen many heated exchanges during the course of this debate, and I've asked you to go ahead. I've asked him to silence. I have asked him.
Why does this
Put
not
your
happen
point.
in other debates?
Anand Raghunathan, I think we are debating about the debate. Please go ahead and make your point.
This is wrong.
So that's why I've asked him to maintain silence. Please go on.
People are not here. Your viewers are not here to listen to such crap interruptions. They are here to listen to some history.
Well, please make your point.
Well, I was making my points until I was interrupted. Now can I begin again?
That's what I'm asking you to do, sir. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And I hope I will not be interrupted again. Fourth time I'm asking. The genocide that Aurangzeb perpetrated claimed 4.6 million Hindu lives. And in 1675, under the broad daylight in Chandni Chowk, Guru Tegh Bahadur was beheaded on the orders of Aurangzeb. And some panelists had the temerity to say he's not a terrorist. And yet we had cities and roads and God knows what named after him. And his tomb has turned into a memorial. 75 years have gone, Madhav, but we still haven't got independence from brainwashing and servitude. And that is why in years to come, we would continue to eulogize Aurangzeb. Because the truth is, we know more about the wretched Mughals than about Shivaji and Rana Pratap and Prithviraj. History that is written by the victors is peddled by the vanquished. And we have been vanquished. Madhav, just 30 seconds. I am an Indian. My heroes are not Alauddin Khilji, Babur, Sikandar Shah Miri, Aurangzeb, Tipu Sultan, Abdal Guru, Burhan Wani, Yasin Malik. My heroes are Azizul Haq, Abdul Ghaffar Khan, Manto, Abdul Salam, Salim Ali, Abdul Hamid, Obaid Siddiqui, APJ Abdul Kalam. And as for Mr. Sharad Pawar, the man who invented a bomb blast has the cheek to talk of communalism.
Okay. All right, Abdul Razak Khan. Now your objections to what Anand Ranganathan was saying. Go ahead.
See, you cannot compare Mughal icons with today's terrorists, all right? It was a time when the sword was the rule. I am not comparing King Ashoka with Aurangzeb. All that I'm trying to say that a king during his times to establish his kingdom.
You just did so a very short time ago.
The rule was only the sword.
You just did so a short time ago, sir.
So that was what Aurangzeb did. That was what King Ashoka did.
No, you just said
all
so.
that I'm saying is,
you said, why do we have Ashok
glorify
Chakra and the
who you
national
want.
flag? Don't have selective amnesia, Abdul Razak Khan. You just asked that question.
Exactly.
20 minutes
Exactly.
ago. No, so they obviously you're comparing the two.
Kings of those.
Obviously you're comparing the two.
They called Aurangzeb a terrorist. Just because they called Aurangzeb a terrorist.
No. Well, let me come in here.
He had killed so many people.
Let me come in here.
Even Ashoka killed.
Let me come in here.
Ashoka killed.
I'm going to read out.
He repented.
One second. But
who
Aurangzeb did not
Aurangzeb
repent. He
repented
exulted. That's a slight difference, sir. Let me read out. Let me read out what a eminent historian. One second. Abdul Razak Khan, calm down. Then listen to some more facts. Okay, this is what well-known historian Will Durant has said in his Story of Civilization. He's talked about how Aurangzeb. Listen to me. Just listen to me 1 minute. And I'm quoting exactly. I'm quoting verbatim. Aurangzeb cared for nothing for art, destroyed its heathen monuments with caused bigotry, fought through a reign of half a century to eradicate from India almost all religions but his own. He issued orders to the principal governors and to other subordinates to raze to the ground all temples of either Hindus or Christians, to smash every idol and to close every Hindu school. In 1 year, 1679 to 80, 66 temples were broken in Amer alone, 63 in Chittor, 123 at Udaipur, and over the site of a Banaras temple, especially sacred to Hindus, he built in deliberate insult a Mohammedan mosque. He forbade all public worship of Hindu faith, laid upon every unconverted Hindu a heavy capitation tax, and as a result of his fanaticism, thousands of temples which had represented the art of India through a millennium were laid in ruins. We can never know from looking at India today what grandeur and beauty she once possessed. The point I'm making is very simple here. You cannot compare the level of cruelty, the kind of anti-religious hate that this one individual has been attributed to by multiple historians, including those who are in his own court. Abdul Razak Khan, why are you trying to valorize, idolize him?
Is there no history that Aurangzeb gave land for temples, donation for temples?
After destroying thousands of them.
All these things are coming under BJP's Modi rule.
No, these are all books that have been written much before even Vajpayee's rule, sir.
Exclusively close to elections.
What are you talking about, sir? Will Durant has started writing books now after PM Modi has come to power. That's what you're trying to say.
Tipu
Come on.
Sultan was a Savarkar. Now Aurangzeb was a State Bahadur. Come on.
I'm not even beginning the debate on Tipu Sultan. I'm talking about Aurangzeb. Abdul Razak Khan, I'm talking about Aurangzeb.
The Hindu vote to consolidate.
Okay, Dr. Ranganathan, I want to respond to you. Yeah, Dr. Ranganathan.
Yes,
If he was
Madhav,
a terrorist,
first of all, I apologize.
Okay.
My anger was not directed towards you. Please, you are a wonderful person and a wonderful anchor. So please, I apologize if you were to think that my anger was directed against you. It wasn't.
Go ahead.
I was just a little bit, but I just like to say, because I want to directly rebut this person, Mr. Abdul Razak Khan. So I hope he will not interrupt me for 20 seconds. Madhav, we are talking about Aurangzeb beheading the revered Sikh Guru and burying alive the two Sahibzadas. And Abdul Razak Khan says Aurangzeb was not a terrorist. I ask a simple question to Abdul Razak Khan. In fact, you ask him. Does he condemn the killing of Kamlesh Tiwari? Yes or no? The same communal bigot sitting on your panel said Kamlesh Tiwari deserved his fate. These are the Aurangzeb worshippers.
All
this
the
guy.
Hindu kings.
This guy is an Aurangzeb worshipper, right? And you ask him. You ask
all
him,
the Hindu
does he
kings did not
condemn?
kill only Muslims.
Again he is interrupting.
Sir, after the Maratha war with Tipu
your
Sultan,
papers aren't
the
working.
Marathas destroyed the Sharda.
Okay.
Your papers are not working.
Yes,
It was a Hindu
yes,
temple.
yes. One second.
Otherwise, you would have asked him, does he condemn the killing of Kamlesh Tiwari? Ask him. Ask
This
him.
is hypocrisy,
Does he condemn the
Anandi.
killing of Kamlesh Tiwari?
Mr. Abdul Razak Khan. Mr. Abdul Razak Khan.
Hypocrisy.
You asked a question, now let him respond. He's responding to you. Abdul Razak Khan, question to you from Dr. Anandratan. Please respond.
He won't respond.
My question is, why do we hoist the
Answer,
national flag
please.
from
There
Red
we
Fort?
go. He
Why
won't
do we
answer.
earn out of Taj Mahal?
Because this
That is my
has been
answer.
exposed.
That's not
Mr.
an answer,
Modi
sir.
apologized
You will
for
attribute to the
2009.
father.
So
You
many
will
lives
attribute.
lost.
Can you
Has any
attribute to the
BJP
son?
leader apologized for 1992?
No, this is a problem.
So many lives
This is a
lost.
problem. Nobody is questioning. One second, let me say this. Abdul Razak Khan, let me say this. One second. One second. Nobody is painting with one brush all Mughal rulers. When you talk about Aurangzeb, there are very specific instances.
All of them are bigoted.
No, one second.
All of them are criminals.
One second. Let me.
Problem is we don't know our history.
Yes. No. You have your point of view, Dr. Ranganathan. I respect your point
Your
of view. But let me
frustration
ask.
says that all
I'm
the
asking on the
history that
basis
you
of what
said
I've just
was
read
a
out over here,
distorted
Abdul Razak
history.
Khan. What I've read out on the basis over here about his role in the destruction of thousands
there
of
are many
temples, the kind
historians
of
who have
acts of
written
cruelty he
that
has engaged
Aurangzeb
in,
did give
how can you
lands to
justify such an individual?
The more the king wanted to establish himself, he had to be more cruel.
Ask him this question, Madhav.
If the king did not
Does
use
he
his sword, he would
condemn
never be the
killing
king.
of Kamlesh Tiwari? Ask him.
He
now.
would never be the king.
Please ask him, Madhav.
There's a question from Dr.
Kamlesh
Ranganathan.
Tiwari was
No,
neither
question
a
from you.
Hindu
You ask
king
him.
nor
No,
a Mughal ruler.
it's your question. It's your question, and I think that
Tiwari
question
was
has been.
nothing. Murders
He's not
happen
answering my question.
every day
That
in
question.
India.
You ask him, does he condemn the killing of Kamlesh Tiwari? Ask
Murders
him.
happen every day in India.
So it's a routine affair.
Does he condemn the
You
killing
condemned
of Kamlesh Tiwari? Ask him.
2002. You
Ask
condemned
him.
1992.
There we go.
Sir, you condemned
What about
6
rape?
December 1992.
Murders are
1,300 lives lost.
Panel mein. They
All
do
right.
not condemn the beheading of
All
Kamlesh
right,
Tiwari.
all right. This is the problem. This is the problem, and this is certainly a problem. Yes. Mr. Sriraj Nair, you want to respond to what Abdul Razak Khan has been saying? Sriraj Nair and then Rajiv Pandey. Yes. I see many hands going up, one after the other, gentlemen. Sriraj Nair.
See, it's very simple. See the kind of mindset. I told Mr. Abdul Razak, his ancestors, they themselves were the biggest victims of the atrocities and barbarism of Aurangzeb. And see the way he is justified. It is absolutely like Stockholm syndrome. Whatever they underwent, they are trying to justify. And in no way Aurangzeb can be compared with Ashoka. Aurangzeb remains the most brutal and barbaric ruler, or whatever you may say, which the country has ever seen. That's what I can say. And anybody who is trying to glorify should be severely punished under the law of this nation.
Absolutely. All right. Rajiv Pandey.
Madhav, just I want to say something. You know, Sanjay Jha tried to justify this by saying Aurangzeb died so many years back. I want to say Ravan, Kaurav, Kans, they have gone long back. Still we are remembering them. Because if we remember them, we can know what is the reason, what they look like. Aurangzeb and all Mughal rulers, I am saying, were terrorists. And what is the definition of terrorist? You have to see that. Definition of terrorist is very clear. You can read one judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court of India. All people who came from outside with sword and one gadha, ass or horse, all were terrorists. They come for looting, raping, plundering Indian money, Indian wealth and Indian women. So don't try to justify he made this, he made that. They will only talk about one Taj Mahal. I am saying all were terrorists, all Mughals who came from outside were terrorists, and their job was only one to terrorize people. They have killed more than 7.5 crores Hindus. This Tipu Sultan you are talking about, he killed more Christians than Hindus. Let's not talk, now the situation has changed after 75 years of independence. We now say what is black, what is white. We are not going to be worried whatever people like or not.
Okay.
All were terrorists.
But I just want to ask a question to Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, you know, when there are leaders of mainstream political parties. Yes.
Last line.
Yes, Rajiv, quickly make your point. 10 seconds. Quickly make your point.
From this country, and that is one of the prana of Honorable Prime Minister. I am saying that they enslaved us. Madhav, they enslaved us because we were good. We allowed those beggars to enter into our country, and they came and they started so-called ruling. Congress and communist historians made them hero. Now this is not the time. We will erase all history of servitude of every trace.
All right. That's a battle over history. That's a much larger question. But let me simply ask Sanjay Jha this. Sanjay Jha, you know, when you have certain sort of monuments, if I can call it that, or historical structures associated with individuals such as Aurangzeb in Aurangabad and other locations, and you have mainstream political party leaders actually visiting them, in a sense idolizing these people. So this poster is not just one in isolation. You know, there is a history to it. And this is what the BJP is very clearly objecting to. This is what the right wing also is clearly objecting to. They are saying here's a person who is associated with such horrendous crimes, and then to justify such an individual with the social media post or the posters or whatever it may be is something that is just not acceptable or palatable. But many say this, there is a background to all of this, a context to all of this, where political parties have done this in the past. Sanjay Jha, do you agree with that?
Madhav, as a student of political history, let me tell you, all governments try and superimpose their own interpretation of history. Having said that, let us establish one thing very clearly. The BJP, the RSS, and the entire Sangh Parivar is a very insecure political organization. They have a serious inferiority complex. These guys had zero contribution to India's freedom struggle. They have no idea about how India was liberated. They had nothing to do with the Quit India movement.
So does that have...
actually were
one second, Sanjay Jha, for the sake of argument, one second. I don't want to start a debate on the freedom movement because that will completely take this debate to another level. We have very limited time. I am saying even for the sake of argument, I'm not saying that I agree with you or anything like that. Even for the sake of argument, if I agree with you, Sanjay Jha, what in heaven's name does that have to do with what's happening on the streets of Maharashtra today?
Absolutely.
Can you link the two?
Can I tell you something? Madhav, I live here in Maharashtra, I live here in Mumbai. Can I tell you, the BJP is anxious after the defeat in Karnataka. This has got 48 Lok Sabha seats, and they do realize that end of day, if they need to even reach 200 seats.
Sir, but was the poster put up by BJP? You can blame the BJP. I have no problem. You can set any agenda at the BJP's hand. They are the ruling party. Please question them. But this poster that has been put up by a certain political party's leader, why do you not question them in the same breath? Because hate works both ways, Sanjay Jha, does it not?
Supposing you and I have a dispute and I do something wrong, you're not supposed to come home and beat me up, right? People have to have a right to
rebut.
Why are
lies? Okay.
I support Sanjay.
Quick response. Yeah, Dr. Ranganathan, almost out of time. Quick response, Dr. Ranganathan. Yes.
There's so many lies being spoken here that have gone on unresponded. Now, the last lie that was spoken by Sanjay Jha, who I believe is a good friend, but has he graduated from WhatsApp University? When he talks about RSS did not take part in freedom struggle, does he know the legendary names like Dada Naik Chimur? Does he know about Ramdas Rampure? Does he know about Sant Tukoji Maharaj? Does he know about Hemu Kalani? Inko pata kya hai? And how can you go have such lies unrebutted?
You know everything.
How?
You know every negative thing.
One second.
They don't know about
Dr. Supariwala.
Does he?
Yes, that's why I'm giving you a chance to rebut him.
Ask him who was Sant Tukoji Maharaj. Ask him.
Yeah, please respond. Please respond.
You can't just lie on national television, yaar.
Can I talk to?
इनको WhatsApp पे झूठ बोलना है बोलो यार. Forward your lies to Rahul Gandhi, but don't lie on national television. Forward your lies to Rahul Gandhi.
Dr. Ranganathan, I would like to tell you something.
Sir, first you tell me who was Hemu Kalani. Tell me who was Hemu Kalani.
You know, can I tell you something? Anand has this trademark style. He'll rattle off 10 things one after the other.
Rattle off. Now, he won't answer. He won't answer because I have just named in 10 seconds 4 RSS workers and leaders who took part in the freedom struggle. You are the 5 minutes ago he was saying RSS did not take part in the freedom struggle.
I would like to answer.
I don't know how to. I just give up. I just give up.
All right. Completely out of time. Completely out of time. We've exceeded our time on this debate. I'd like to thank all you gentlemen for joining us. Rajiv Pandey, Dr. Anand Nathan, Shiraj Nair, Abdul Razak Khan, Sajid Supariwala, Sanjay Jha, and Advocate Faizan Mirza. Certainly a very heated debate, and one will have to see. One certainly hopes that peace and calm prevails in Maharashtra wherever this incident has taken place, and whoever is responsible for spreading hate on whichever side, it doesn't matter. But the fact is that hate on either side or any side has to be punished equally. Thanks so much, gentlemen, for joining us this evening.